Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have T1 Kha'Zix on Kha'Zix versus the best Kayn on EUS and Virkayu, and the mid laner is Virkayu. You may have heard of him. Basically a very nice game for you right before Kha'Zix gets those Q nerfs next week. But please remember, that will not make the champion irrelevant. We have TP Ignite Poppy, I just noticed, but hey, do whatever you want these days. The Kha'Zix game on my main channel that I just did comparing, Challenger Kha'Zix's to your Gold Kha'Zix's, that focuses on Tanu with a Dark Harvest rune set, just like this one that you're going to see in a second. But instead of Q Evolve, we're going R Evolve with Ultimate Hunter. And I think next patch, after the Q nerfs, you're going to see that playstyle maintain itself. It will keep being good. W second is just so damn useful for the 90% slow as well as wave clear and sieging. Basically, I think that will end up being the go-to evolve path, although Kha'Zix, you can do a whole bunch of stuff. It always is relevant. Rengo players will call it an it. But runes on your screen now, Kha'Zix will always be relevant. Let's see how he changes. For now, though, the game style is what we want to focus on. Kha'Zix will not be hyper ganking. Kha'Zix will do the most damage, but sometimes jungling isn't as cut and dry. I always tell you, let's prevent the enemy jungler from playing the game. Let's make sure we are getting those objectives. Let's make sure we are impacting lanes, and that's like a circular thing. It just, each one of those points continuously feeds themselves. The problem is, sometimes that just isn't possible. Now, I have not seen this game. Blind reviews are kind of fun to do sometimes, and also because I wanted to do something different, and pro players tend to really spam champions that they're going to be using on stage. Zoe bubble hits, and as, in turn, that just becomes kind of boring in terms of covering things. So I've kept every game unique from this Worlds coverage, so that if you're not interested in Worlds and you really don't give a damn, at least the champion and the gameplay knowledge is helpful to you. But at the very least, we've got some variety left. I might have some more if they can maybe dig something out before the end of the World Championships, but otherwise, Kha'Zix is definitely one of those that I think everyone can use to climb. We've got your pings on the Raptor Pit. This is pretty standard stuff. I mean, you don't need wards to track like this. Is just intuitive tracking. We know he leashed bottom side. We know he started top side. All of this is very, very standard. Now, Bob Pryor will determine the subsequent moves. I don't like full 6 camps when you're Kha'Zix against a Kayn, because a Kayn will be faster than you, And if basically you're saying, okay, look, I don't have Bob Pryor. They just moved up toward the tri-bush. There's no point you not doing the Krugs now. Now you might as well do the Krugs, because you're never going to be able to contest this. You ping it. A lot of pings coming through from Kha'Zix saying, listen, Zoe, be careful. The Edgelord Supreme will arrive thusly. Let's see if that happens. So a little bit slower on the clear there, but that's of no concern to us mortal players. We'll secure that. Secure that. And now Kha'Zix decides, instead of actually just retreating and going to the top crab, he says, you know what? Kayn's going to be busy on that top crab. Let me make a move, and I like it. The flash for a flash, I think, is okay in this situation. Kayn and Fiora now goon squatting the mid lane Zoe. First blood to Faker. He falls asleep from how easy that was, and Kha'Zix goes back to base. This move, though, has ramifications. Every carry knows that basically that top grab is free, but has no smite, which means no smite, no ability to remove the shield. It's going to take too long. Poppy has Prior. The Fiora's reset to base. LeBlanc has reset back to base, so why waste time? Could you coin flip taking this crab? Of course you could. Yeah, most of you would, right? Be honest with yourselves. You want this crab, but why risk it? I mean, for the biscuit maybe, but not for LP games. So basically gives this up. Kha'Zix will go straight to that as it's the outermost objective. Every carry can reset now, go straight to his tier 2 Krugs. Kha'Zix will fall back down to his blue side. I like the early gank there. He gets a harvest stack, which is what it's all about basically. And the thing is, when you're going Duskblade with Q Evolve and Dark Harvest, you get that pseudo R Evolve, which is why I kind of like it. But a lot of people prefer the Eclipse just for that shield, the Omnivamp yeeting in. It's got a lot of other benefits as well. We don't need to revisit this discussion every single Assassin video. But nevertheless, pick your playstyle, adhere to it, enjoy yourself. So again, pings on my way. I think this is something we can definitely track. I knew he was there. I think the mid laner should know he was there. Faker knows that the Kayn's going to be arriving. And this is a great cut by Kha'Zix. Hopefully we're watching that. I'll replay it because sometimes it's kind of difficult for everyone to track everything. I talk about this. You're focusing on what I'm saying. You're not focusing on Kha'Zix. So this is pretty obvious here. Why does Kha'Zix decide to shadow mid lane? Straightforward. He's sequencing down. He's slower than the Kayn. The Kayn reset, gave the top crab. Kha'Zix had to do crab, grump, wolves. And now Kha'Zix is floating down to the bottom side to do raptors and then Krugs again. But because he did raptors, I can click, you know. Because he did raptors, red Krugs, that means that there's a delay between the raptors and the Krugs spawning. He knows that mid is pushing. He knows that mid is not warding. It's too juicy of a gank to go for. So he's anticipating this jungle tracking intuition. And that's a beautiful segue. I wish I watched this before I was doing the voiceover of my video that would have launched tonight, because I'm recording this ahead of time, so this should be Thursday. Yeah, brilliant. If you're interested in more discussion about jungle intuition tracking and its implications, just head to the main channel. It's got it all there for you. We have now a support roam, and hey, look, I've spoken about this before, and this ward is really, really good. We see it, it's happening, everyone's going to be rotating, and at this point, you're just trying to get the kills. There we go, that's nice. What are we at now, 2? Good. And you notice this, look? Didn't even bother to finish that, stayed, just rotated, said, oh, there's a fight, we need to be active. Doesn't worry about finishing the raptors first. This ward here, super useful against support roams. Mid laners, junglers get used to it. Especially when they're offset, you know? Like if you see 2v1 and their support died, and your support's gonna push and go back to base, then very obviously the enemy support's just gonna roam down here and try to go mid lane, because their AD carry is in base and your AD carries and bot lanes are in base, so there's nothing for the support to do. Might as well roam mid. So that's why that ward is so good. They use this advantage to take the dragon. A lot of dragon risk there. More so than we've been seeing for a long time, if you guys have been listening and paying attention to the meta shift about how it's slowed down and we're not forcing objectives if we don't need to. But we have a good team. I mean, our team scales nicely. I don't feel like we have to, it's kind of stuck. I hate that so much. It's very painful. You might have just obviously given that up. All right, I mean, 200 years. I'm not opposed to a 200 years buff. But you see the Kayn, because the Kayn goes back and does cams, we'll get this crustacean, fresh tartar source. He's level 6. He's way far ahead. So all the Kha'Zix can really do here is once you get 6, evolve those juicy claws. Again, remember, that's being nerfed next week. So if you watch this in the future, you can probably still do it, but try out that R-Evolve. We see this, yeeting these. Is it worth collapsing? No, because Pantheon is MIA. Zai is MIA. Are they trapping? Did they roam up? We ping, we see. Okay, Zoe checks. Very nice. That's all we need. We can go topside. You know, when you're against a heavy farming jungler as a Kha'Zix, as these kinds of champions, a little bit of patience is mostly nice. I like here, instead of doing Wolves Grump Blue to maintain sequencing, I kind of like just doing the blue here because it's a notable buff that will draw attention to the enemy jungler. They will look for it. He's actually just dishing it off to his mid lane now. So that takes away my point. But I like securing it and then going straight for the objective, especially if Kayn has been out a long time and this red's going to be spawning. He's drawn to it. The bot has roam prior. You might as well just try and take an objective. You can't match that. You can't fight that. You can't... Wow. You can't really do anything about it. And this is important as jungling. Don't freak out. Please. Don't freak out in these situations. I know a lot of you are probably like taking your blue side going, don't worry about it. Relax. Take the objective. Take your blue. Give it up if you're in a flex game. Just kidding. Never give it up. Blue's for us only. It's a jungle camp. Therefore, it is meant for junglers. You see Kayn and Virkayu on the bottom side there. Obviously, 62 to 48. Who is surprised? Nobody. So what we can do then is use the fact that Poppy is doing Odin's work for us. Elevate the game state. Throw a wrinkle into the plans of our farming jungler. And I hate it when they can just farm and do whatever. You should always watch for TPs if it's available. Sometimes junglers in lower elos will kind of make their play and not realize that the Fiora's TP, Kayn's coming top lane, fresh buy, and you die. Pretty straightforward. The red is actually still available, so that's worth noting. Now this is huge. Because if you can get your top laner this infused with a lead, right? You can go back to base here. Now, we're giving up 2 camps. Obviously, I understand this. You're giving up 2 camps. But this is the highest tier camp that you have on the map because it's the one that you took tier 2 and it's respawned, which means instead of going to this over here and this over here, you can just float to the bot side knowing that your red's still available, knowing that this is your highest tier camp, and it's an edge camp, right? It's on the edge of the map, Grumble Krugs, and you know that the Kayn is joyfully eeing around these walls and circles like a dog chasing his tail. And because of this, You have a camp to fall back to. You're going to have your Raptors to fall back to if you stay out long enough. And we can impact bottom lane. We're shadowing where we predict the enemy jungler is going to gank next. You see? So he goes for the lane gank. And I think it's really, really wise to do this. Scanning is very important, though. You see, if you don't have a scanner, you don't know that's warded. So sometimes a lot of low elo junglers will try this play. And they don't scan and they just sit on a ward. Then actually, not just low elo. That happens in Diamond. Use your R. We do have the Ghost Blade. You see the spike there from the Ghost Blade is nice. That's why we reset. Ooh, well done. All right. See, now with our evolve, we get out. I'm just saying. But either way, it's the right play. He was trying to anticipate the Kayn coming down and setting up the counter gank, but then you have to basically go, right, I've spent my time doing this. Ideally, my top laner should be able to assist sooner. So it's a bit of a high elo play, but I like the concept anyway, even if you're in lower elo. I would probably... I don't know if I'd fall back from top side here and take these camps and then reset. I might, because the randomness of the Kayn cannot be predicted, you know? So it just kind of prevents the counter jungling. You get your Ghost Blade, you get some boots, control wards, whatnot, and now you can go bottom side and do this and do this. Like, maybe that's a better reset for a lower elo player, but when you're facing the best Kayn on a US who just knows how to play the champion and move around the map, even if it's not mid lane, worth noting, mid lane Kayn, then I like the prediction there and the attempt to counter gank. Repeat gank, CC. We're still equal in gold though. Probably still around. Flash burn from the baker, the sashimi maker. Kha'Zix yeets in, the W just connects, or doesn't really connect, but the ignite helps, and he's able to clean up the Kayn as well. I like this, just rotate. Full on high elo Fiesta. The Faker says, wait, I want fun too, and then, you know, doesn't have any. Ooh, see? Who here, raise your artificial hands, is obsessed with clearing camps and would have missed all of this? It's okay, I've done it too. Camps are enjoyable. The OCD of sequencing and quadrant clearing just motivates us. But at the end of the day, if the enemy jungler farms faster than you and you cannot match it, you have to add, you know, you have to do the Joker. You have to add a bit of chaos, you know? Just make everything a little bit more random for those who enjoy everything so planned. And that's great for farming junglers. I think so. Screw them, basically. Kha'Zix can obviously farm a lot more, but just it's so good. The 3-1-2 here is just so good. Reading where the Kayn's gonna be, seeing the map for what it is. It's nice. I enjoy. Okay, we're well on our way to Eclipse Spike now, and this is see. Well on our way to Eclipse, and we have the serrated Dirk Spike, which is what I wanted to say. But I was gonna say before resetting, we clear this because we've taken a second dragon, and now we want to go topside. Now you don't want to leave these camps too long because this is level 6, right? So we don't want to leave these camps too long. And obviously there's a crab. So while Kayn is trying to get Faker fed, all right, Poppy, because she has that huge lead, is able to rotate and make numbers plays with your team. And it's worth noting that there's a downside to this. She can freeze top and just farm. She can also push and deny and get fed herself. So Zoe kills the Baker. I apologize. I was explaining so many things at once here. You know, there is a downside. Eventually, your top laner can fall behind. And low elo top laners always falls behind. I just went drowsy and then dish out some of that. Very nice. It's just taking the red. Yeah, I like it. I like it. This is good. This is the best way to defeat farming junglers in your elos. Obviously, your laners are going to follow by any stretch of the imagination to this degree, but your top laner who does roam, like, look, now they're the same level, 102 to 89. She gets a lot of gold from this. Does she? Ah, there we go. We have the passive. With the ult, the Kayn rotates. Oof, that's why that's getting nerfed. Finally, repost is used. We swap into the Kayn. Hit the target in front of you. Okay. Man, this is good damage though. This is fine. I think people get way too obsessed over not killing people. Like, what's wrong with that? They both have to go back to base. Poppy gets a full unhindered wave, gets to deny, hit the tower, you get an objective. This gank is as effective by chunking and forcing them to leave as it is killing them. And that's important. I mean, you don't get as much gold, but the ultimate endgame is the same. Resources unto you. Resources denied unto them. And now we can basically crack open mid like Humpty Dumpty. I have no issue with you guys just literally taking waves and shoving for an for a tower here if your mid lane is dead or somewhere else. You got to trust yourself to a certain degree. You know, don't tilt your team, but like that's a fine play. You know, if everyone else is somewhere else, then feel free to do that. And obviously that's Faker, your teammate. You know, obviously you're ooh, yes, that's funny. Kane's like, I come, and he's down 2 levels. You know how easy it is. You don't even expect it. You don't even expect it. Like even I didn't expect it. You know, it's just so beautifully done from the rotations, the play. This is very nice, guys. Follow this kind of stuff when you're against farming junglers. You worry that they're always just AFK farm and get ahead. Be active. Now look at the CS lead. Look at case in point. That was just so smooth. And cuz, to be fair, to be 100% honest, because that's what we're about in this channel. Well, always, as much as possible at least. Cuz was the #1 and #2 ranked jungler on Korea, and I was gonna make a video about it. And then they qualified for Worlds, and then they went boot camping, so I couldn't, and all the footage was gone, and I cried a little bit, and sat down on my couch behind me, drank some whiskey, and thought, you know, great. Now what? And then I found China Jungle, thank goodness, and we made that video. But Kha'Zix was ahead of Canyon on the leaderboard before Worlds Bootcamp, and he was the highest ranked jungler and the second highest ranked jungler. So the guy understands solo queue, you know? He really understands solo queue supremely well. Obviously he understands pro play also, but you can see the solo queue isms within this game are super fun to watch when a high level jungler just sees all. Close. But doesn't overchase. And I think that's very, very important message as well. Tries it, and in certain lower elos you might see them turn back. But in this case, the double evolve exists. We have a 3rd dragon up, and this is why I love scaling teams or assassin junglers who get a lead, who just trust themselves to get a lead, and they take those early dragons because now, if he can get the Grump, he can, ooh, doesn't have smite. Poetic. Poetic. But, you know, bigger shutdown the other direction, so not that great for Blue Cane. Pity. That was close. And at least with him dead, they're not going to coin flip that dragon. Huge fight in the bottom lane. What's going on here? Pinned against the wall and doomed. That's what Poppy does. I love this. I love this Poppy. Cuz just turbo Giga 5-plated assisted when she had a huge lead. Forced the Fiora to have to deal with this, and the Poppy's just roamed and cleaned up waves in the meantime. And that's why people will say, well, they top gap, support gap, but yeah, but who's creating these windows? The jungler. The jungler. Not moths, not anyone else, not mid laners, not the supports themselves, junglers. We make these gaps. We create these issues for teams. We elevate game states. We have the power. Now, if I was editing these videos, we'd have a He-Man and off we'd go. Nevertheless, if you see a top laner split pushing and gets put to sleep, use your E to gap close, try hit your W, the minions absorb, unfortunate riposte is used. We just used our passive auto anyway, dude, so we can still Q and finish. We do have R available now. We might want to use it to reposition. It doesn't really matter, their whole team rotated. Poppy's bottom side taking the Grump, Ezreal's pushing, holding mid lane. They have 4 people here plus the Xayah. They're quite low though, and we did do a lot of damage. So the death is unfortunate, but now your team can at least try and hold and drag as long as possible, and in which case, I mean, they can all die. This will allow them to do Baron. Poppy is pushing bottom lane. We'll get this tower 100%, and eventually I will breathe. Now. Whew. Oh, we lose a cannon. And a Baron. So, overcommits. Faker killed Ezreal. Overcommits here need to be approached with caution, and you don't get to say, you know, it's not possible, it's necessary, this isn't Interstellar. It's okay to try those plays, but just sometimes it's okay to dial back. So here's a great example of, let me try kill the Kayn, okay, nothing, pull back. Here's, let me try kill the Fiora, they're all rotating, okay, let me pull back. But it's understandable when you don't fully know your power curve or how it's going to play out. You're really, really squishy, sorry. How long has that been on there? I apologize, but you see the itemization now. We have Another serrated Dirk. We're just stacking the good item. Last Whisper already completed for Blue Cane. Basically, in these situations, if you've got a really good lead and you've played really, really well, you want to kind of... You kind of just want to hold as long as you can. Not dying here is like number one. Oh, Eclipse, thank you. Comes on me now. The Eclipse is really very useful in that situation. But you just give a tower, don't die. Farm what you can, ward your jungle entrances, literally. Eat your camps, shadow mid lane in case something happens where you can affect it, like in this situation. But don't unnecessarily die. You know, the Puppy has done that. MV Carry has now done that. Prowler's Claw, by the way. Please understand the Gore Drinker was nerfed. So go back to lethality. It will be good for your health. You'll enjoy it. Prowler's Claw is good. Gap Closer, bonus damage proc. What more would you want? This is basically just patience. This is nothing more than patience. A lot of people in game, you guys hate this. You hate watching it, you hate playing it, but this is where you lose games. This is why you throw. You know, you lose a Baron and you think, oh, it's doomed. It's lost. I mean, just chill. You got Mountain Soul coming up very soon. And if you can get it, you get it. But in the meantime, you're just trying to secure your jungle camps, ward a lot. We're speed running through this a little bit. Clear the vision control. Don't get picked off. Yeah, that's a good, if the Kayn left, that's good. Just chill. There we go. that E just looks kind of anemic, doesn't it? Need the E evolve. See, this team comp is basically all squishies. So E evolve could be very, very useful against a more bruiserish fight where you're basically staying around a lot. An R evolve to finish would be good. But we're seeing a lot of the Dark Harvest players go TP coming through. Go for the E evolve actually. It's good that he moved in that direction. Smites to get an ult, gets W slowed. Fiora is attacking. We do have ultimate, we do have flash, but I don't think we're gonna live. So Kha'Zix a little bit of int. A little bit of int at the moment. Okay. This isn't how I envisioned this. Not gonna lie. But at least your whole team is ahead because you made good things happen. So sometimes they can bail you out. And sometimes they don't. That's fine. They'll take the dragon. We can afford to lose one dragon. That's fine. Kha'Zix has respawned. See, now at this point, there's no objectives on the map. I think when it's clear it's gone, just try and take your camps here because now we're giving them a lot of gold. So I think, yeah, that's great. Push them off. Delay backs a little bit. Take that. We're losing our blue to the Zoe. Take the Wolves. Try and take the Grump if we can. Get some levels. We want 16 as soon as possible. We see that the Kayn is... Oof, okay, wait, that was quick. Did I just kill block you guys? There we go. Man, just the EQ is enough? I didn't, never mind. I thought the W might hit. Ignite. Became unuseful. Stun the Fiora. Riposte everything. Get Drazi. Riposte that. Die. Good. Disgusting champion. Absolutely disgusting. Return the favor. I love this though. Sequence, they're here. Kill, push, take, sequence up. See Zoe pushing top lane. Take your camps on the way to Shadow, and if your camps are down and nothing's happening and Zoe wants to push a little bit, you've got all these bushes that you can use to Shadow as well. And as soon as someone tries to show up to kill, you do it. And that's what Cloud9 failed at. They'd have perks split pushing, no one shadowing, no idea where the enemy team was, and they just completely disrespected this. And that's the problem. Here in this case, we just want to take control of their topside jungle, and if they're too afraid to check, we just burn this. Yeah, just burn it. Absolutely burn it. Very nice. Reset. Itemization, please. Edge of Night is great. Ooh, BF Sword. I think in this game, a GA is actually pretty good. This is my red. Xayah is so diseased sometimes. I don't like it when they buff her. I like it when she's strong in matchup dependent lanes, and she's not strong overall. When she's strong overall, I hate laning against it. I just hate laning against it. I don't know. It's one of those things that really frustrates me. Like, I understand how annoying a Caitlyn and Morgana can be, even as a Xayah, but I feel like I can navigate it. Xayah, I don't know. It's like one of those kryptonite things for me. Just glide when she's not meta as a squishy champion. Her ult makes it really annoying as Ornn too, so I guess that's a thing. Hey, I'm gonna ult you. She says no. Like Samira, like Yasuo, like all those champions. Any champion that denies your ability to be yourself, don't like him. Clear the vision, we have Baron. Look for the flanks. He's standing quite deep here. See this? This is very important. He's standing quite deep in the fog of war, and a lot of Kha'Zixes move too forward. You know, if you're not going to flank or there's no position to flank, then staying back is good until you need to push up. You see? So now it's very obvious that there's a cannon and a wave. Now we can push up a little bit with the wave. But in case they wanted to try and engage before that wave crashed, he just keeps his distance, especially for the Kayn. Kayn ults too deep, didn't really have to do that. Kha'Zix held spells, no need to burn things because the Kayn's obviously going to ult you. The cannon minion does its business. Faker decides to go in. Pantheon decides, I want to go in. Is able to, Kayn's actually able to kill the AD carry. Kha'Zix cleans up. Poppy's the front line. Zaya's dead. That's why you get those dragons, my friends. And imagine if you have Soul right now. Be even easier. Then that's, the Soul loss is a little bit of a throw moment from everyone, but there you have it. How to get a lead when things look a little glim. How to get a lead and use a lead. And also, a great video on why Kha'Zix's Q is being nerfed. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you're able to enjoy and learn something. Don't forget the Kha'Zix comparison video if you're a low elo player and want to learn more about this is on the main channel. A 5 pillars of jungling rule also there. Volibear Zada GG live companion guide from me. I will have an updated special build, special source for Volibear coming very soon. I fixed him, basically, is the summary. I fixed him. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.